U-Haul just released their 2025 migration report covering over 2.5 million one-way truck rentals across the country. And for the 6th year in a row, the same state landed dead last. Not 5th from the bottom, not 3rd, dead last. 6 years running. The bottom 5 states losing the most one-way trucks were California, Illinois, New Jersey, New York, and Massachusetts. The top 5 gaining trucks were Texas, Florida, North Carolina, Tennessee, and South Carolina. The Census Bureau backed it up in January when they released the 2025 population estimates and showed that Americans are relocating at a pace we haven't seen in decades. And the direction is clear. These are the 5 states people are escaping as fast as they can. And the last one on this list is going to surprise you. Number 5. New York. Over 1 million people have left New York for other states since 2020. 1 million domestic residents gone. The 2024 to 2025 numbers alone showed a net loss of 137,586 people, and the state's total population is still roughly 200,000 below where it was during the 2020 census count. New York actually almost made the official population loss list this year. The only reason it didn't was about 1,000 international arrivals that barely tipped the scale positive. The tax burden is the headline. New York's per capita state and local tax burden is $12,685 per person, the highest of any state in America. The top state income tax rate is 10.9%, but if you live in New York City, tack on another 3.876% for the city tax. The new mayor has proposed pushing that even higher for millionaires, which would bring the combined city and state rate to nearly 17%. Add the federal rate, and you're looking at a marginal tax rate above 54 cents on the dollar. Meanwhile, average rent in the city hit $4,031 a month in 2025. That's 146% above the national average. And despite all that cost, real wages in the city actually declined. The money is leaving faster than the people. Long Island posted a 78% outbound rate on United Van Lines. Bank of America data shows nearly 45% of people leaving New York City are heading south. Number 4. California. Nobody is shocked to see California here, but the scale of the bleeding is still staggering. Net domestic migration loss of 216,000 people in a single year. Since 2020, approximately 740,000 residents have packed up and left for other states. And this is where it gets worse. The IRS reported that $24 billion in net adjusted gross income left California for other states in 2022 alone. That's not just bodies leaving, that's the tax base walking out the door. California's top income tax rate of 13.3% is the highest in the country. Base sales tax of 7.25%, also the highest. Gas taxes push the average gallon to $4.62 versus the $3.20 national average. The median home price ranges between $780,000 and $899,000, roughly 2.5 times the national average. Only 18% of California households can actually afford the median-priced home. The insurance crisis is accelerating the exit even further. After the January 2025 Los Angeles wildfires caused an estimated $40 billion in insured losses, the state's insurer of last resort saw its exposure double to $650 billion and proposed a 36% premium increase. 789 corporate headquarters relocated out of California from 2011 to 2021. Chevron left for Houston. SpaceX and X moved to Texas. Even In-N-Out Burger packed up for Nashville. The state lost its first congressional seat in history after the 2020 census and is projected to lose up to 4 more after 2030. Number 3. Illinois. Illinois holds a distinction no other major state can match. 17 consecutive years of more people moving out than moving in. That's not a trend. That's a generational pattern. The Census Bureau recorded a net domestic loss of 40,017 people in the latest year, with roughly 420,000 gone since 2020. Illinois has lost a congressional seat after each of the last 3 censuses, dropping from a peak of 27 seats to just 17. But the real story in Illinois isn't income tax. It's property tax and a pension crisis that virtually guarantees things get worse. Illinois has the highest effective property tax rate in the nation at nearly 2%, which is double the national average. The 2025 Cook County reassessment hit Chicago homeowners with a record 16.7% median increase. Some 240,000 homeowners saw their bills jump 25% or more in a single year. The mechanism is brutal. When downtown office tower values collapsed after COVID, $129 million in commercial tax burden shifted directly onto residential homeowners, and it cannot get better. Here's why. Illinois carries $143.5 billion in unfunded pension debt, making it the only state in America above $100 billion. The funded ratio is 47.8%, meaning the state has less than 48 cents for every dollar it owes retirees. Pension contributions have grown nearly 20-fold since 1996 and now consume roughly 20% of the entire state budget. That money has to come from somewhere, and somewhere is your property tax bill. Boeing, Caterpillar, and Citadel have already left. The Magnificent Mile has 51% fewer active business licenses than it did a decade ago. Number 2. New Jersey. This one flies under the radar because New Jersey sits between New York and Philadelphia, 2 massive job markets. You would think that proximity would keep people anchored. It hasn't. United Van Lines has ranked New Jersey the #1 outbound state in America for 8 consecutive years, with a 62.3% outbound rate. U-Haul ranked it 48th out of 50. New Jersey has some of the highest property taxes in the country by median dollar amount. The combined state and local tax burden consistently ranks in the top 3 nationally. And unlike New York or California, New Jersey doesn't have the cultural gravity or the job density to justify the premium. When you can work remotely from North Carolina and keep an extra $15,000 a year in your pocket, the 2-hour commute to Manhattan stops making sense. Number 1. Colorado. This is the one that should concern you the most, because Colorado wasn't supposed to be on this list. Throughout the 2010s, Colorado was a top 5 destination state. Young professionals, tech workers, and outdoor enthusiasts were flooding Denver, Boulder, and Colorado Springs. It was the answer to California for people who wanted mountains and sunshine without the 13.3% income tax. That story is over. Colorado just posted negative net domestic migration of 12,100 people in 2024 to 2025, the first negative reading since 2004. Before the pandemic, 80% of Colorado's net migration was domestic. That ratio has completely flipped to 80% international and 20% domestic. Americans are no longer choosing Colorado. The State Demography Office has already slashed population forecasts by 120,000 through 2029. Population growth of 0.4% was the slowest since the late 1980s oil bust. United Van Lines ranked Colorado the 5th highest outbound state. Denver and Colorado Springs both recorded 57% outbound moves. Pueblo hit 75% outbound, making it the 3rd most abandoned city in America by that metric. Denver home prices have roughly tripled over the past decade. A single person needs $72,000 to $78,000 a year just to live comfortably, and a family of 4 needs $110,000 to $125,000 in combined income. The dream destination became unaffordable, and now the people who made it desirable are leaving for the same reason they left California. So where is everyone going? Texas gained 391,000 residents in a single year to hit 31.7 million. North Carolina pulled in 139,000 net migrants, the highest in the Southeast, with 5 cities landing in the top 20 PODS destinations nationally. South Carolina was the fastest growing state by percentage. Tennessee showed up in the top 5 across virtually every moving company study. The common thread across every destination state is lower or zero state income tax, lower cost of living, and actual job growth. But even the winners have cracks forming. Texas faces a projected 27 to 40 gigawatt electricity shortfall by 2035. Florida's momentum has cooled from high inbound to balanced, with insurance premiums still averaging $3,800 a year. If you're finding this helpful, hit subscribe. I cover the real numbers behind where Americans are actually moving every week. And the pattern across all 5 states is the same. Americans aren't just moving to cheaper states, they're moving away from states that made staying unaffordable. And the states losing the most people keep responding the same way by proposing new taxes on whoever hasn't left yet, which only speeds up the cycle.